Sidney Raymond Udy, better known as Sid Vicious, was an American professional wrestler who had a net worth of over $5 million at the time of his death. He is renowned for his roles in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW, where he competed under the ring names Sid Justice, Sid Vicious, and Psycho Sid. Udy achieved notable success as a six-time world champion, capturing the WWF Championship twice, the WCW World Heavyweight Championship twice, and the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championship twice. Beyond his world title accomplishments, he also held the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship once and earned numerous other accolades. Throughout his career with WWF and WCW, Udy headlined multiple pay-per-view events, including main-eventing WrestleMania 8 and WrestleMania 13 in 1992 and 1997, respectively, and Starrcade in 2000. Awards and honors. World Wrestling Federation, WWF Championships, WCW World Heavyweight Championships, WCW United States Heavyweight Championship. Personal life. Udy was born in West Memphis, Arkansas, on December 16, 1960. He married Sabrina Page on December 30, 1983, in Shelby County, Tennessee. The couple had two sons, Frank, who appeared on CBS's reality shows Big Brother 14 and Big Brother 18, and Gunnar Udy, a professional wrestler. Outside of wrestling, Udy had a passion for softball and played the sport briefly between 1997 and 1999 during his downtime. In a notable incident during a WCW tour of Europe, Udy and Arn Anderson were involved in a violent altercation at a hotel bar in Blackburn, England, on October 27, 1993. The confrontation escalated when Anderson threatened Udy with a broken bottle. After being separated by security chief Doug Dillinger and sent to their rooms, Udy later attacked Anderson with a chair leg, and Anderson retaliated with a pair of scissors. Udy sustained 4 stab wounds, while Anderson received 20, losing a pint and a half of blood. Fellow wrestler 2 Cold Scorpio intervened, helping to save Anderson's life. Neither wrestler pressed charges, and British police did not take further action, as both were soon leaving the country. Udy was subsequently fired from WCW over the incident. Early career. Udy began his wrestling career after meeting Randy Savage and his brother Lanny Poffo. Trained by Tojo Yamamoto, he made his debut by teaming with Austin Idol to face Nick Bockwinkel and Jerry Lawler. Initially wrestling under the masked persona of Lord Humongous, Udy started his career in Continental Championship Wrestling, CCW, in 1987. On Christmas Day of that year, he won the NWA Southeastern Heavyweight Championship, Northern Division, becoming the final holder of the title. He later gained popularity as a fan favorite after a kayfabe reunion with Shane Douglas, leading to the formation of a tag team that captured the NWA Southeastern Tag Team Championship. Udy also competed in New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW, under the name Vicious Warrior, challenging Tatsumi Fujinami for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, though he did not win the title. Udy's career briefly brought him to World Class Championship Wrestling, WCCW, where he adopted one of his most famous ring names, Sid Vicious, inspired by the punk rock musician of the same name from the Sex Pistols. In 1989, Udy signed with World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and continued to use the ring name Sid Vicious. He made his televised debut on the June 17, 1989, episode of WCW Pro, where he defeated Dwayne Bruce. Initially positioned as a singles competitor, Udy was later teamed with Danny Spivey to form the tag team The Skyscrapers. Managed by Teddy Long, the Skyscrapers engaged in notable feuds with the Steiner Brothers and the Road Warriors, and Udy made the powerbomb his signature finishing move. However, the Skyscrapers' run was brief. Udy was sidelined with a broken rib and a punctured lung following a match with the Steiner Brothers at Clash of the Champions 9 in November 1989. As a result, he was replaced by Mean Mark Callis. At a Superstars taping on May 28, 1991, Sid Udy made his WWF debut by attacking the Mountie in an untelevised segment following Mountie's open challenge. He scored his first WWF victory against Ted DiBiase at a non-televised event in Calgary on July 8. On the June 8 episode of Primetime Wrestling, vignettes promoting his arrival began airing, introducing him as Sid Justice. Udy made his official WWF television debut on the July 20th episode of Superstars, where he was announced as the special guest referee for the SummerSlam main event. In this match, the Ultimate Warrior and WWF champion Hulk Hogan faced off against the Triangle of Terror, Sergeant Slaughter, Colonel Mustafa, and General Adnan, in a 3-on-2 handicap match. Later that evening, Sid intervened to save Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth from an assault by Jake Roberts and The Undertaker at the couple's wedding reception. During this period, Yudi also defeated Kato in his first televised match on the September 21st episode of Asterisk Superstars. However, he suffered a biceps injury in a bout against Roberts, which led to him missing the Survivor Series pay-per-view. In May 1993, Sid Yudi, competing under the ring name Sid Vicious, made his return to WCW as a surprise participant alongside Colonel Robert Parker at Slamboree, where he faced Van Hammer in a stretcher match and emerged victorious. That summer, he teamed with Big Van Vader, reigniting his rivalry with Sting. During the Fall Brawl event, Sid's team, consisting of Sid, Vader, and Harlem Heat, was defeated by Sting's team, which included Sting, Davey Boy Smith, Dustin Rhodes, and the Shockmaster in a War Games match. At Halloween Havoc, Sid faced Sting in a rematch of their previous encounter 3 years earlier but lost by roll-up. After leaving WCW, Sid Yudi returned to what had become the United States Wrestling Association, USWA, in Memphis, following its merger with World Class Championship Wrestling, WCCW. There, he rekindled his feud with former rival Jerry Lawler. On July 16th, Yudi captured the Unified World Heavyweight Championship by forfeit when Lawler, who had been attacked and injured by Yudi earlier in the event, was unable to compete in their scheduled match. Although Lawler managed to defeat Yudi in non-title bouts, Sid retained his championship in several defenses through controversial decisions, often assisted by his ally, the Spellbinder. On the February 20th, 1995 episode of Raw, Sid Yudi made his WWE debut as the bodyguard for Shawn Michaels. He accompanied Michaels, along with Jenny McCarthy, to ringside for Michaels' WWF Championship match against then-champion Diesel, Michaels' former bodyguard, at WrestleMania 11. Despite Michaels hitting his signature superkick and seemingly securing victory, Sid distracted referee Earl Hebner by standing on the ring apron. This allowed Diesel to recover and ultimately win the match with a jackknife powerbomb, retaining his title. The following night on Raw, Michaels expressed his frustration with Sid's interference and gave him the night off from accompanying him for his rematch against Diesel at the inaugural In Your House pay-per-view. Sid, angered by Michaels' decision, responded with, "You don't give me the night off." He attacked Michaels from behind and delivered 3 power bombs, turning Michaels into a face once again. Diesel intervened, clotheslining Sid over the top rope. Michaels claimed to have suffered a legitimate back injury from the attack, which sidelined him for 6 weeks and removed him from the title match. Yudi made his return on the July 8th episode of Raw, adopting the persona of Psycho Sid. In this incarnation, Sid was characterized by his intense, strident voice and erratic behavior, including random contemplative stares, excessive blinking, abrupt shifts between laughter and seriousness, and menacing fist bumps with fans during his entrances. He was introduced as the replacement for the Ultimate Warrior, who had left the WWF, in a 6-man tag team match. Sid teamed with former rival Shawn Michaels and Ahmed Johnson to face Vader, Owen Hart, and the British Bulldog in the main event of In Your House 9, International Incident. Despite the high-profile matchup, Sid's team was defeated. At Survivor Series, Sid repeated his previous controversial actions. He seized a camera from an operator and prepared to use it on Shawn Michaels. Michaels' manager, Jose Lothario, climbed onto the ring apron and pleaded with Sid to put the camera down. Instead, Sid struck Lothario in the chest with it. Despite this clear heel behavior, the audience cheered Sid and booed Michaels, reminiscent of their earlier reactions at the Royal Rumble 4.5 years prior. Sid dropped the camera and turned around just in time for Michaels to deliver Sweet Chin Music. However, Michaels then left the ring to check on Lothario rather than going for the pin. Sid retaliated by hitting Michaels with the camera and then powerbombing him to win the WWF Championship. At In Your House 12, its time on December 15th, Sid defended his title against Bret Hart. The winner was to face Shawn Michaels at the Royal Rumble. Hart made Sid tap out to the sharpshooter, but the referee was incapacitated and didn't see the submission. Sid and Hart continued to brawl near the commentary table where Michaels was seated. After Sid pushed Michaels and re-entered the ring with Hart, Michaels attempted to attack Sid, but Sid countered by throwing Hart into Michaels. Sid then pinned Michaels after a powerbomb to retain the title. At the Royal Rumble, Sid lost the championship to Michaels. During the match, Sid hit a chokeslam and repeatedly powerbombed Michaels outside the ring. However, Jose Lothario interfered, which led Michaels to hit Sid with the camera, temporarily incapacitating him. Although Sid kicked out of the pin attempt, Michaels then delivered sweet chin music to win his second WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Michaels soon forfeited the title, citing an injury that was widely disputed by others, including Bret Hart, who believed Michaels avoided dropping the title to him at WrestleMania 13. At In Your House 13, Final Four on February 16, 1997, a four-corner elimination match for the vacant title featured Bret Hart, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Vader. Hart emerged victorious and was set to face Sid on the February 17, 1997 episode of Raw. During this match, Hart had Sid in the sharpshooter when Austin, who was feuding with Hart, interfered and struck Hart with a steel chair. Sid capitalized on the distraction, hitting Hart with a powerbomb to reclaim the WWF Championship. Sid lost the title to The Undertaker at WrestleMania 13 on March 23, following interference from Bret Hart, who allowed Undertaker to execute a tombstone piledriver for the win. Sid's final appearance on Raw is War came the next night when he confronted Bret Hart after Hart attacked and injured Shawn Michaels. Sid was scheduled to face Bret at the April In Your House and Mankind in May, but these matches were cancelled due to a neck injury Sid sustained. He returned on the June 2 episode of Raw, where he lost a rematch for the WWF Heavyweight title to The Undertaker. At King of the Ring on June 8, Sid and the Legion of Doom lost a six-man tag team match to the Hart Foundation when Owen Hart pinned Sid with a roll-up. Independent Circuit, 1998. After departing from the WWF due to a neck injury and remaining inactive for nearly a year, Sid Vicious wrestled on the independent circuit in Mississippi and New Jersey. On February 28, he defeated King Kong Bundy at the Eddie Gilbert Memorial Brawl. Sid also worked with Power Pro Wrestling in Tennessee. Mexico, 1999. In early 1999, it was reported that Sid spent time touring Mexico under the ring name Sid Cyclope, according to Sky TV's WWF Teletext service. Extreme Championship Wrestling, 1999. Sid made his debut in Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, in January 1999, where he competed against the Dudley Boys, John Kronus, Skull Von Crush, and Justin Credible. He left ECW in May due to the promotion's financial difficulties. Second return to WCW, 1999 to 2001. The Millennium Man and United States Heavyweight Champion, 1999. At the urging of friends Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, Sid returned to WCW at the Great American Bash in June 1999, joining Randy Savage's heel stable, Team Madness. He adopted the nickname The Millennium Man and faced WCW World Champion Kevin Nash on the July 5, 1999, episode of Nitro. Although Sid was promoted as having an undefeated streak similar to Goldberg's, most of his victories came from attacking wrestlers after their matches. On September 12, 1999, Sid won his first and only WCW United States Heavyweight Championship from Chris Benoit at Fall Brawl. He then began a feud with Goldberg, who challenged him for the title at Halloween Havoc. Due to a backstage altercation earlier in the night, Sid was bleeding throughout the match and ultimately lost the title to Goldberg. Sid also lost to Goldberg in an I Quit match at Mayhem, ending their feud and Sid's streak. WCW released a VHS titled Sid Vicious, Millennium Man, highlighting his return. At Uncensored, Sid defended his title against Jeff Jarrett with help from Hulk Hogan, setting up a match for the next Nitro where Sid and Hogan faced Jarrett and Scott Steiner. During the match, Sid turned heel, attacking Hogan after being incensed by the fans' cheers for Hogan. Sid chokeslammed Hogan and forced the referee to count the pins, although the match was officially declared a no contest. This was potentially to set up a match for Spring Stampede, but shortly after, WCW's New Blood angle began, leading to Sid and other champions being stripped of their titles. Sid's role in the angle was minimal, and he was kept off television for several months. Injury and first retirement, 2000 to 2001. Late in 2000, Sid challenged Scott Steiner for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship but was unsuccessful. On January 14, 2001, at the Sin pay-per-view in Indianapolis, Sid suffered a severe injury during a Four Corners match for the title. Sid attempted a big boot from the second turnbuckle but landed awkwardly, resulting in a catastrophic leg fracture. The injury, which involved a break of the tibia and fibula with at least one bone breaking through the skin, was so graphic that many TV stations refused to re-air it. Recovery and later career, 2002 to 2017. After WCW was purchased by the WWF in March 2001, Sid faced a lengthy rehabilitation period. Despite being told he would never run again, he defied the odds and returned to active wrestling. On June 5, 2004, he made his return with the Canadian-based Internet Wrestling Syndicate, where he won a 10-team battle royal. Sid made his debut in Memphis Wrestling on July 14, 2007, engaging in a feud with Jerry Lawler while serving as Hollywood Jimmy Blaylock's enforcer. He also appeared at the Juggalo Championship Wrestling event, helping Tracy Smothers attack the heavyweight champion Corporal Robinson. Illness and cause of death. Away from the limelight, Sid Vicious faced significant personal challenges. His son, Gunnar Vicious, announced the tragic news of Sid's passing after a prolonged fight with cancer. Gunnar remembered his father as a man of immense strength, kindness, and love. Sid's life was marked by struggles beyond his public persona. He grappled with mental health issues and struggled with drug addiction from a young age. Despite these hardships, Sid's legacy remains, offering a glimpse into the complex reality behind his wrestling persona. Thank you for watching. For more content like this, subscribe and click on the bell notification.